Good Sunday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone had a fantastic Sunday. I'm your host for South Carolina weather, Jesse Peterson, and let's talk about the weather for your Sunday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, not much is going on in terms of the entire state. Right now, if we go on and move to the MRMS, here's the entire United States. You can see that we do have rain that goes on all the way up here inside New England, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, also going into Wisconsin, Michigan, as well as Canada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, with some storms going on, eastern Kentucky, southern West Virginia, and even into central Tennessee as well. We do have rain, storms, I should say, going on through there. We also do have some showers going on inside of the Four Corners region, down there inside of Texas, and near the Florida Keys as well. As we move on, here is our cloud cover. No cloud cover is expected, and no cloud cover is really happening. If we move the cloud cover for the next 18 or so hours, cloud cover will try to move into the upstate of South Carolina as we get through tonight, but that's as we get into a little bit of a shower threat going on in the upstate of South Carolina, maybe going into like early tomorrow morning ish, maybe. But as you continue through, cloud cover really just not being present for anybody else. And as you go into current temperatures as well, 70 inside Columbia, 68 in Charleston, 66 inside of Georgetown, 70 in Myrtle Beach, 70 in Rock Hill, 71 inside of Greenville and Anderson, as well as 70 in Augusta, Edgefield, 70 inside Barnwell, 68 in Fairfax, Walterboro, Beaufort, and Savannah as well. Low temperatures for tonight at around 64 inside of Columbia, 60 inside of Moncks Corner, maybe 67 inside of Charleston, 59 in Walterboro, 64 inside of Hilton Head Island, 62 inside of Georgetown, 65 inside of Myrtle Beach, 60 inside of Dillon, 62 inside of Florence, 63 in Cheraw, 61 inside Rock Hill, 61 inside Spartanburg, 60 in Greenville, 62 in Anderson, Greenwood, and Lawrence as well. According to this map right here, it says no precipitation is expected at all for the next 24 or so hours. And even though I do think that there could be a little bit of a threat going into tonight, now we're going to check the radar and just see what happens. We're going to go to the 23Z instead because I do want to see what the model at 8 p.m. shows. Then we'll go back to the 3 o'clock one and we'll go a bit more into the future. But I do want to see because there's no risk for any sort of severe weather, no risk for any sort of excessive rainfall, even though we do have a risk for if a shower does get going inside of the far upstate of South Carolina, the potential for a thunderstorm is indeed possible if because the ingredients are in place there. But here's the model right here. I do want to see what just happens, and it honestly not really much at all. Honestly, it has no rain falling all the way going into tomorrow afternoon. Does not have a single drop going through, and you can see the total precipitation as well. As we go through this right here, no precipitation at all. So, again, does not seem like much right now in terms of rain, and it's a potential that because I know last night it was showing the potential for some moderate rain up there inside the upstate, but not really seeing anything now. And as you continue through, nothing for tomorrow, and nothing seems to be for Tuesday either. So at least for Tuesday at around 2 o'clock p.m. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. That is that. As we go on and talk about the tropics, now only one thing to talk about here, and that is disturbance one. A well-defined area of low pressure located several hundred miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands is struggling to produce shower and thunderstorms. The system is currently embedded in an unfavorable environment, and development is not anticipated over the next couple of days. However, the system is forecast to move generally westward to west-southwestward, and environmental conditions could become more favorable for gradual development by the middle to later portion of this week. A tropical depression could form as the system begins moving west-northwestward and approaches or moves near the Leeward Islands. So right now only a 10% chance over the next 48 hours, 40% chance over the next 7 days. and I don't really see this thing forming, like it said, like in the next couple of days, but it could to the late portions of this week. It could Friday, Saturday, even going to like Sunday as well. It has that opportunity for sure. So we're gonna have to continue watching that, see what happens. I believe model guidance is all over the place with that. I believe some has it. Well, let me just before I start saying stuff, let me check and see. So like here's one for example. Here's the hurricane models right here, pretty much saying that there is a threat for maybe like the like Puerto Rico, for example, like Haiti, Dominican Republic, going up into the Bahamas as well. And some has it curving, some has it going straight up. So honestly, that's what most models are saying though. So definitely, let me get my pen out real quick. But definitely, this area that I'm circling right here is definitely the most watched area and the one that I'd be watching the most for right now in terms of any sort of like development or anything like that. But going past that, you can check the other ones as well. Here is the GFS right here. GFS has it going just to the south of the Bahamas, going into eastern Cuba, and then the GEPS has it not really doing much. Again, just going into eastern Cuba, kind of. That's like the median right there. Now this, I have no idea what in the world is going on with the HWFI all the way up there. Has a full-on Category 5 going into the next 132 hours. Kind of interesting to say the least, because if that was the case, not likely at all. If probably not going to happen at all, as most models have it either a tropical storm and maybe a low-end hurricane. But I'd say for sure the max is. I mean, obviously models are pointing it out, so maybe I mean the max is always a Category 5, but definitely not likely at all. So we're gonna move out of that. Now we're gonna talk about. We're actually gonna talk about our week forecast first for September the 13th through September the 19th as well. So all the way over here into the climate for the weekly, and if you move over here to the eastern U.S., you can see that we will actually be in a bit of a more of a equal slash unsettled pattern as we go through this week. Again, it's not really going to be like just sunshine and rainbows all week. I mean, it definitely could be. So I mean, I don't know, but in terms of you can see like height, for example. Usually, the more blue, or like the more darker blue you go, the more unsettled weather that you have, and then the more orange, red, and then even purple. So the even darker you go, the more settled slash nice weather you have. And honestly, I don't know. This could be. I mean, I know we do. Most of us are inside the equal chances, but honestly, I think that we could definitely see some more settled weather this week. So I'm not too bought on that. But in terms of temperatures, for sure, this week will be below average by far. Temperatures in the 40s for probably most of us this week. So definitely, for sure, below average. And then in terms of precipitation as well, just below average. So it's going to be, in my opinion, if I was to put this week into just a summary, nice but cool and not too much rain at all. Which we will check again the drought monitor on Thursday, see what that has to say, as most of us are abnormally dry. Low country, South Carolina, Western PD region, and the Southern Midlands are. But in my opinion, it could potentially expand as we're not really getting much rainfall at all. Do I see a drought forming? Potentially. It would be probably, in my opinion, like a D1, but I don't see like a major drought ensuing just because it's not really getting too hot. Not really getting too hot. It's getting actually pretty cool. So let's go on and talk about just the rainfall, and we're gonna go over like the next 300 or so hours as you push this forward. As we get into this is October the 21st. So let's go all the way back to the 13th. As we continue to push this forward, there goes our cold air that we're watching for, maybe bringing some snow into the Appalachian Mountains of North North Carolina on around October the 16th. And then as you continue through, it will bring some more cold air and a cold front with it. As a cold front will most likely pass us around tomorrow. I'll show that in just a second, but cold air definitely make it into the region, especially on October the 16th. And then, again, just nice, not watching for any sort of concerning rain. We might not see rain for a good while. And when I say a good while, let's check the total precipitation. This goes 384 hours right here. I do want to see how much rain, total accumulated precipitation is possible. I mean, right there, that's only around a tenth of an inch right there over the next 300 or so hours. That's from now until the end of October. Now, again, this is, again, over 300 hours. This will most likely not happen. They will definitely be changed. But right now, the fact that we're not really getting any rainfall from now until pretty much the end of October, some regions might not, is kind of concerning. And you can even check out, because I did want to see what was going on with our temperatures as well, because that's also something that you might have to see if you have high temperatures at all as you push this forward. Again, low temperatures, that cold front passing us on a Monday, and temperatures will drop into the 40s and then maybe even into the high 30s up there in the upstate of South Carolina going into October the 16th, going into the 18th. Again, 40s stay in for pretty much the entire time. And then maybe some 50s, and then we might see some high temperatures again into the 70s and maybe even the 80s as well. Here is October the 25th. High temperatures could get to 86 for some people as you get into like late October and even into October the 29th as well. So it will start to get warmer. And when I say that, I mean back into the 80s, even as you're going into late October. So the heat is definitely not done. As we can get high temperatures back into the mid to high 80s going into the end of October. And that's pretty much that right there. So we are going to go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Drought does say, good evening, Joseph. How are you? I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. Mr. Anthony says, good evening to you. And then my cousin Thad says, good evening, Joseph. How was your day? My day was, like I said, all right. And we're going to go on and talk about San Antonio, Raleigh, and then we're probably going to be out of here for tonight. And I've already checked severe weather for both locations, and I have not seen a single, did not see a single thing for the next 1 to 8 days, and no rain expected for San Antonio. I doubt Raleigh's probably going to see any rain either. I might be wrong, though. And I seem to be right. Raleigh's probably not going to see any rain for the next 48 or so hours, so we're going to go on and just go straight to the temperatures instead. And see what this shows up as we wait for this right here. So we're going to move on up here. Let's check the like button, the like buttons right now. We're at have around 6 people watching and 6 likes, so everyone has hit the like button. That is good. That is good. And if you have not though, make sure that you do in fact do that. Low temperatures for tonight going into around like the mid 60s, low 60s maybe even as well. High temperatures tomorrow going to around 70 still. Low temperatures tomorrow at around 45, and then high temperatures going to around the low 60s going into your Tuesday. And as you move down here to San Antonio, Texas, let's go into high temperatures and low temperatures there. Low temperatures going to around 59. High temperatures tomorrow at around 95. Low temperatures tomorrow night at around 61. High temperatures going to around 94, 95-ish going into Tuesday. So definitely not done with the obscenely hot temperatures going on up there either. But that's going to about wrap this forecast update. Again, not really long at all. Well, around 14 minutes or so. So moderately sized, but that's just because of the week forecast update. But that seems to be it. I don't see any other comments, any sort of concerns, questions, anything like that. I'll be here for about another 5 minutes or so to see if we have anything else. But if we don't, I'm going to be out for tonight. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and hopefully you have a great week. And I will be back tomorrow morning with another forecast update.
Hey!